pitch black. Ah. Oh, shit. Little kobold dudes standing on top of each other. Ah, okay. Let's duplicate some of this in the pattern that I planned on using. Oh. Go down there. Warbly torbly. And this one should just move perfectly fine and then fit into it. Heck yeah. Oh, right. Oops. They don't have an AI that lets them continue harvesting. They just harvest the one thing. Let's train some dudes, so right, that glitch. Dudes, let's go get some of the stuff. That's right, still no pathfinding. Wonderful, wonderful. But is not as intended. I select them all. Yep. Okay, well, let's get into the actual code of the matter. Crap, what was I doing? Right. Can I open multiple instances of... No. Whatever. Nope. There we go. Alright. So let's draw this out. Where's the mouse? There it is. Okay, so I want to have a unit control. It's easier to do in text crap. Open Office Writer. Right, so the main thing will be the unit control. Then I want to be able to add other components, like that will require a unit control, and I remember seeing there's a way to do that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that's how I do this. I look shit up. I don't have any idea what I'm actually doing at the moment, but I figure it out. So unit control, and then there'd be other things, like essentially just the commands you would give it. Like I guess move would be one. I don't know if we'll actually break that down, but buildings don't move, and they're a unit, so move unit move. I guess we'll your naming convention, unit move, unit attack, unit harvest. What else does the unit do at the moment? Well, it dies, but that should probably be something all units do, so that would be under unit move. Or control, unit control. Where is it? Unity, come here. Right, so it gets selected, that'll be a base unit stuff. There's general stats. So I guess would be a basic core thing. So it's attack and movement and harvest. That's kind of the main ones I've selected. The command stuff, it's a faction that it belongs to. All the other stuff is, well, basic. It's kind of core to what it is. So, and the rank for when it gets laid out. And then we have for the other one, the building here, we have its ability to build stuff, which is right now called building control. So I guess we'll want to add that in as a component. Actually, does this already look for the unit control? Edit. Open up. Unit control, tooltip, blah, 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 blah. Require. Okay, well, we already have this, and this is kind of set up secondary from the unit control thing. So we'll use it as a template to start with. So right now, nip about at the beginning, I'm going to find out how to make sure that it looks for and requires a unit control. Now, conceivably, you could have a rock in your game that builds units. That's not my game. But I assume in that instance we would just have it set up as a unit, because primarily the thing that makes a unit is your ability to select it. And so in the core unit control, actually let's type this out so we have notes and we know what we're doing. So in unit control, let's unit be selected. So this controls the little base thing, which is what it does right now. It makes a little pulsing base, which kind of goes in and out a little bit. Boom, boom. There we go. So yeah, that's a core feature of the unit control. Let's get this side by side for the moment while we're typing it out. Where did it go? Oh, come on. I'm so blind. Alright, so unit control. Let's get this open. And we'll make it a little bigger. Let's embiggen this to use the technical vernacular. So unit control, it lets the unit be selected. So it's got these selection settings. And it holds some settings for the little base pulsy thing so that you can customize it whenever you make your own thing. But let's just click it and then give it orders. So it has the order parsing thing, kinda. Okay, so what this is, this takes orders from the platoon commander and gives them to relevant units. Maybe a little smaller. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So yeah, the order parsing thing kind of takes orders from platoon commander and gives them to the relevant units. That's what the unit control does. Oh, no. The platoon commander gives it to the relevant units. So this would take the order from the platoon commander and use the event component to carry out order. Okay. And it also has it has stats, which I guess we could make as one of my fancy schmancy arrays that open and close. Alright, unit control, blah 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 blah. Stat block. Alright, stats, whatever. Stats, currently, well, base stats, I guess. Hit points, which is yeah, pretty much all it has there. Voice settings, movement settings, text, commands. Okay, base stats, hit points. Has data for faction. Player to whom it belongs. No. Basic sounds. I don't know. Do we want it to have an attackable component? Or should we just kind of assume that's the norm and then put a flag in there, or a boolean that we can check if it's like invulnerable or not targetable? I don't know. Being hit and selected. Yeah, okay. And then unit move would let it move into range if not, or just take in vec2 or 3 and give it and move unit there, which is, of course, at the time, super simple because it doesn't take you that far. I mean, it doesn't do any pathfinding and collision stuff. It just kind of moves you straight there and ignores all collision. Okay, so let's keep that all Unixy, have it do that. It moves things. And of course has, yeah, add in some other stuff. So we have stats. Alright, we have one more. Selection rank. Stats like speed. What else is there? Like possibly like turning radiuses and stuff, but I don't have any of those right now, so it's just speed. And then move order sounds. So that'll be moved into that class, and I was actually looking something up, and I totally forgot about it. Unity component. Oh, you just type require component. Type of, and then the component. Yeah, right. Easy enough. So take it to vector 2 or 3, moves it there. Stats, speed, move order sounds. Oops. Okay. So unit attack, we'll have a list of attacks. Various attacks. I can't. I think. What was it? Yeah, Dawn of War. They had like a melee attack, and then they had a ranged attack. Most units, which I think all units had a melee and a ranged attack. But so the idea that I have with my game, and I want this sort of expansibility to be there, is that when your guys are like up, smushed against like another formation of dudes, instead of how it is now, where they'll just clip through each other to get close. If they can't get close enough, everybody will have a ranged attack, even if it's super, super weak, so that even your like dudes in the back will be like, you know, picking up a rock and throwing it at the enemy, which I think will be cool, and it'll make it so that it'll make it less punishing if you don't get in a good position where you can get, I guess, good surface area or combat area on an enemy formation. So your guys in the back will still be able to contribute even if you got Thermopylae super hard. Which will prevent someone from being all genius and Thermopylaing someone, but whatever. I want it to be a little bit more accessible than, you know, some elite hacksaw game. Yeah. So yeah, a list of various attacks, which will have an attack. So list attack type, and then attack type will have information in there, range, damage, cool down, can move while I guess we'll have a little excuse me, little optional thing, a string, little array, which will be types, so that we'll conceivably be able to add in types of damage, like, you know, piercing damage, which I guess would be a code opposed by something in either an armor class or in the base unit control. It would probably be some sort of armor class or component. So string type. So you could have resistances that are compounding, where you could have like a, what's it called? like in one of the old tower defense games, Elemental Tower Defense. They had a little kind of rock, paper, scissors, a little more complicated, but that style of this beats that, and this does a lot of damage to this, but this takes more damage from that, but it can do damage to this, and that blah blah. All that fun stuff, and it was based on elements and stuff. Super popular game. It's available on Android. It started as a downloadable map for Warcraft 3. It's still really fun. But it, yeah, had different like types of things and resistances. And so by putting in a string here, which will be optional, you could have completely, I guess, untyped attack, which will probably be the most basic one, and I guess the code will just completely ignore that if it's not there. Otherwise, when it does some sort of like, take damage thing, it will give in the integer of the damage or the float, whatever, and give them the types for it. And then the thing that's being attacked will check to see if it has resistances for those types of damage, and then apply it itself, which I guess is the super object-oriented way of thinking about it, which is how I learned how to program, so here I am. We'll figure out that later. Okay, so with unit attack, so what's going to happen is we have the unit control. It gets the order from the platoon commander, and then the unit control. I was like, oh, well, what do I do with this? Hey, I got an order to harvest. Do I have the harvest thing? No, I can't harvest. So I guess I'm just not going to do anything with that, and I'm going to stay here or do default whatever, or just not take in a new order to add onto my list of orders and stuff to do. And then, if it does have something, like if it has a unit or attack, the attack component will be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna attack. Am I within range? Do I do some logic like that? It says, oh, I'm not within range. And should it return that it's not in range to unit control? The unit control will be like, oh, get within range, because not being within range is kind of a common thing. We could conceivably not be within range of harvesting. We could not be within range of attacking. And if we have other ones of these later with, I guess, spells or abilities, not being in range is a thing that can happen a lot. So I guess I'll put that in there. Yeah, so return, it needs to accept return from order components is what I'm going to call these. Order component. And right now it's going to be not in range, which would then, of course, have it put in an order to move the unit into range. And so, yeah, that would apply for a lot of stuff. So attack, harvesting, which I guess it would go back up, and it'd say, oh, can I move? I can't. I guess I'll just do nothing. Not in range. I can move. I'm going to give myself a move order to get within range. And should it be just within range? I don't know. Because there's a thing that happens a lot in real-time strategy games. Let me add in something. Oh, right, this is the game scene. So let me add in something super big in terms of HP. So let's do a nice big number there. And then we'll change the attack range to 10. Which I should probably move that farther away. And I'm not going for a speed record, I'm just trying to have fun making this, and I guess record it and stream it for no other reason than to prevent me from screaming and ripping my hair out. Which, you know, it's not what I do when you're putting whatever, I'll just build them. suppose that's a good sign. It's now easier to have my units build things. Oh, okay, so the range for their attack is what's being used for harvesting at that moment. Oh, right, I didn't change it. God damn it. Kind of confused there. Whatever. Let's get him out of there. And change the faction, which is currently just a string. Oh, right. They can drop off resources anywhere. Let's get some more dudes. Which lets us get some more dudes, which we'll use to get some more dudes. Actually, can I go over here? Yeah, this will build... Oh. Be free! Awesome. Oh, shit. Yeah, they're harvesting, so they won't get distracted by, you know, petty other concerns, which is very much in line. Should lay out there. So, if we move them to attack, they still move to a 0 range. Okay. Let's try and get them. We'll try on these guys. Nope. Oh, right, I changed the range to attack on the building. Whatever. Okay. Or just this one guy. Well, whatever. So, what I was going to say is that if you have a bunch of units, they will bump off of each other and then form a semicircle. And in them... You need paint again. Let me get my drawing tablet. Finally, a chance to use my degree. Ha! Fancy ass drawing tablet. Doesn't need USB 3, but I'm gonna use it anyway. I like to live excessively. Fun, 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 fun. It's like a rock drill. Shit. Whatever. Okay, so if you have a target over here, and you have a unit. Oop, come on, let me draw shit. You have a formation or a line of dudes here. What the fuck? Why are you so difficult? Windows shit. I just want to draw. Right. So you have a line of dudes coming in here. In their range, we'll put them, will be a circle around this guy. Bear with me. Brush. So they will move up, and the first guy will get into range, and then he will stop here. Let me switch color for our kobolds. They're red now. Red. So yeah, that's our formation. They're coming in. So the first guy will come in there. The second guy will come in, and then bounce off him, be like, oh, I'm not in range, but I gotta get in there. So pathfinding. Stop. Pathfinding. We go to the side. And then start fighting. And then the other guys will go to the other side. The guy on the other side, branch out, and it looks cool, but it's not actually that cool because everybody is just... This guy's standing here, and it's taking longer and longer to get your firepower to bear. Now, what I want my dudes to do, and what I order them to do whenever I'm playing any other real-time strategy game, is I give them a move order to move right. Fucking come on. You give them a move order to move in here, so that the whole formation, which would be a block like that, ends up inside of the range, so the people on the back here can attack, and the people on the front can attack. And there's a slight delay when they are moving in and not attacking and being attacked, because they're most likely within range of the enemy as well. But then they stop, and then the entire formation attacks at the same time, and their alpha DPS, or alpha damage, and their DPS combined is much higher than it would be as if this one guy got hit, and then this one guy started shooting, this other guy started shooting, which I guess would be good for skirmishing. So it comes down. Maybe I should add in a way to, so you can order in different things. So you can order, like, I guess, hold a button and tell them to attack this thing, and they'll move the entire formation into attack. Or I guess like a skirmish mode, where they will do it the other way. Or an artillery mode, or a long-range mode, where they will only move for until something can attack. So that, like, if you had a unit that had artillery and other dudes in it, it'd only move until the artillery was in range, and the other guys would just stand there guarding the artillery. Yeah, so that's my super simple diagram. I'm available for hiring. If you need any fancy MS Paint diagrams done, I can also do GIMP. No Photoshop, though. I don't pirate software often. Or at all, because that's illegal. Alright, so, yeah, go back here. This is what we were looking at. So yeah, we were saying, hey, it needs to accept orders for returns that say, hey, I can't do this. I need you to move within range. Which I will deal with later. Now the harvest, when I initially made the harvesting code, it was essentially just a copy and paste of the attacking code. It just, instead of doing damage, the unit filled up an internal reservoir, or the unit had an internal reservoir of stuff that it can hold. So, like, it can hold up to 10 gold or 5 noble crystals. But you gave it one limit, and then as soon as it harvested something, it said, oh, this is the unit, or this is the resource that I have in me now. So as soon as it started harvesting those green crystals, it had an internal, it copied that string that it has in there, because the crystals have a string on them. That's their type. There's that type of resource. So they copy that to themselves to let them know they have that, and then if you give them an order to harvest a different type of resource, they just kind of dump whatever they had. They don't actually put it on the ground, but it's all lost forever. And then the title, or the type of their little reservoir changes, and it starts filling up again from 0. And, yeah. I think that's generally how it works in, like, Warcraft and stuff. It's been a while since I released a Warcraft game, so, who knows. Yeah, so you could conceivably have a creature or something that hold on, I'm thinking. Yeah, you can have a unit that harvests things differently. Like, maybe it harvests this one resource. Maybe it harvests gold just by, putting a vacuum in front of the gold mine. But then it harvests trees by, I don't know, teleporting them into its hold with a range. And each of those has different range, they have different animations, they have different things. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. All that we're going to worry about is that different units can harvest different types of things. So we'll have another list, because I do love my lists. List of harvestable. Yeah, I don't know how to spell. List of harvestable stuff. Harvestable resources. Okay. Really? And then we're going to need other stats, like range. Rate. Range, rate. Oh, and then how much it can hold. We'll use a little reservoir. We'll call that a hold. Type, which is currently a string, because it's easier to, fire off with in the beginning here. If you wanted to scale this up to the actual scale of Supreme Commander, which I would love, I don't think this would work very well for thousands of units. Just parsing all those strings multiple times every time you issue an order. So hold type, string, amount, max, amount, current, and then it also would need to return a I am not in range. Type, and actually we're going to add over here this primary. Which will be confusing because since it's in a list, an attack could have multiple primaries. Actually, I should probably just make it so that 0 is default primary. Or, yeah, 0. Whatever. Do what I want. Alright. So not range. So it needs to return. Not in range. Or maybe it'll just set a flag of the, because right now the unit control also holds a variable, which is interact target. Interact target, and interact target is, well, it's a unit. And then you get all the data from its transform and stuff. And when you attack it, it does stuff. Interact target is a type of unit. And so you could conceivably have a not in range. Or just in range. And we're going to put TV there, because I love it, in range TV. In range. TF. True or false. And so, I guess what'll happen there is if it is in range, then it won't give itself a move, tell the move component to move the unit. And then whenever it attacks, it'll check to see, so it'll check to see if it's in range first, and then it'll go over. Okay. Alright. Oh, and then there's the other one that we're going to use as our little prototype, which is unit build, which needs to be renamed training. Because unit training is slightly different than unit build. Maybe? Shit, I don't know. Unit training, list of units to train. Lots of lists. I love lists. Should write a method that checks them twice. It'd be beautiful. Alright, list of units that it can train. Queue of units being trained. Queue. That's how you spell queue, right? Queue of units being trained. Can't say I'm the best at this. Right, so there's different ways to do the whole building and training stuff. I know in Spring Commander, my go-to RTS at the moment, there was the resources that the unit took and then they had a certain amount of time that it would take as well. So it would have like 50 mass, 50 energy, and 50 seconds. And so what that would do is, I guess, I think maybe what was that? So then in a factory with a build rate of 1, it would take it 50 seconds to build, and it would deduct 1 unit of resource every second. Right, so I guess it would trade the second for the so it would deduct 1 mass, 1 energy per second, so it would take it 50 seconds. And then if you had something assist that also had a build rate of 1, it could also shave off that as well. So if you had a little engineer assist the building, build a build rate, so add its build rate, so for a total build rate of 2, then it would get them built in 25 seconds, which I don't know how to do that off the top of my head. I'm confusing myself here. Alright, so 50 seconds, 15 is resources, so I guess every frame it checks to see what resources are available, and then kind of deducts a little bit, which isn't how mine works right now. Mine works with a lump sum thing, which I don't like, but it's other people like it, and that's how it worked for other types of games, so it's going to be supported. Yeah. Right, so you could have one factory that has a build rate of 1, but then you could have a completely different factory with a build rate of, 10. But the unit would still cost the same, because it's the same unit. So, is the 50 seconds of build time a product of the original factory and just the resource costs for the unit, or does the unit have its build time associated with it to prevent, or to kind of meter out the amount, or the speed, the rate at which it's built? In which case we would want to add in build time into the unit control thing. Huh. Well, sure, why not? Okay. Resources to build. I'll be a string array, of course, because that's how I do everything here. String array. Or 2-dimensional. 1. Straighten out, because so. Can you make an array with like 2 different data types? Whatever. String array. Amount. Int array. And with the first one, resources amounts, lined up 1 for 1, string int resources amounts, 0 is time to build. So we will do that. Now I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but whatever. That's what's fun. Come here, low. So let's look at our building control script to find out what it does. So it's been a while. I kind of just threw it together in the beginning. Okay. So it has a rally point, right? Because build units that come out of it need to go somewhere. It also let's see. And it also it has 2 waypoints. It's supposed to right now, where one gets something out of the building, assuming it's a building, and then the other gets it to the actual waypoint where you want to go. So it leads it into the various orders that you would have it do. And of course, if the waypoint's on, build waypoint, display as the game object, the unit that it's built, or that is built, which this is what we'll changing to our who's it? Our list. That'll be our list of units. And then the build time is hard-coded, so no matter what we put in here, it'll take it 30 seconds to build at a base. And this is public, so you're able to edit it in the editor, of course. And then the build timer is how long we've actually been building something. And then the start waypoint. And then training, or for when it is actually working to build something. So I think I'm just going to copy most of this into something. I'm going to call it, let's follow my naming convention, unit training. Or unit train. It's nothing else is harvest, attack, move. Yeah, we do need to look something up. So the broadcast message. Cool. Alright. So I think that'll work. Broadcast message. Looking at my other screen here, broadcast message is a method, and you call it. Let me just put it in here so it's broadcast. Broadcast message. And you put it in here. You're like, hey, murder everyone. That would be the name of the method, and then you give it some parameters, like 0.5 or 5.0 f, and then you close that baby off, seal it up, and then it when it calls, from what I understand, it goes to every component on the game object and the game object's children. Yeah, and its children. And if they have this method, it calls it. So we're going to have a method called accept order or take order. Now I think something cool that will work here is that then now if we were to have something like a tank, like a really, really big tank, it's got one turret on it, it's got other little turrets on it, the basic thing, the base of the tank could have the component on it move, but then each of the individual turrets could also have the attack thing on them. Now the turrets themselves can't move, so they don't have the movement thing on them, but they could rotate, so I guess we're going to put in the rotate, point towards the enemy script at in the attack, of course. But then, so all the little individual turrets will look for the target themselves, and they'll all rotate by themselves, I think. Because when you broadcast a message, that goes to all the little components, since little turrets are a component, they'll aim, and they'll shoot. Just like the Beyblade, Baneblade, whatever. The big tank in Dawn of War, the real one. So yeah, something, broadcast message, take order. And then our thing will actually just return a string. Why don't I just actually make it? So let's do that. We're going to copy this. We're going to make a new thing. Let's go over to Unity. We're like 3 hours in, and we're finally making something awesome. Test thing, reduce functions, scripts. Where is the unit? Did I make a unit control thing? Scripts, unit control. Nope. Let's make a little package or folder. Unit controls. So we have unit control, and we have building control too, don't we? Building control. Yeah, we're going to be getting rid of this. Come on. We're going to make a new one. Create. C#. Unit. Terrain. How will I set up buttons? Whatever. All right. Unit train. Unit train. Open. Why don't I just close that? What? No. Okay. Unit train. Let's close everything else except for this. RTS camera. I really need to update that. We'll need to open up our other thing, which was unit control, which I had closed, I guess. Oh wait, no, it's building control. Building control. Crap, I don't remember where anything is. Building control. There we go. So, we are going to copy, like, all of this. Yeah. Put it down there after we comment it out. And then, do we do that? I don't remember. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do it. Unit train. Okay, so we one of the methods we were going to make, which is void. Wait, does this accept returns? I have no idea. Whatever. Well, yeah, because we were just going to flip a flag for the non-range thing. What are we doing? What are we doing? Right. Method. Void. Crap, what was I going to call it? Void accept order, or take order. Void take order, which will take in a string. Order. Oh, no. Alright, so void take order, string order, and then we can put in here if order dot equals, and this is the order we'll actually take, like this is our order, and so we're our thing. And I suppose take order will require more things for this one, because we're going to train multiple different types of things, ideally, because a building in RTS games can train more than one thing. Okay. So take order, string order, if order equals train, then we'll set training to true and shit. Alright. So we're going to pull out all these variables and tooltips and stuff because they're useful. Well, training. What else we got here? Train progress. Wait, start training. Right, so it starts training. So we're not going to work on making it have a bunch of different things right now. We're just going to have it, you know, take an order. So, start. Okay. I'm going to move this up here. And then I put it like that so that I know that I made this. Otherwise the default style is different. And then an update. So if we're training, we progress the training. And if we're selected, we display the build waypoint. So let's get this up into the update, and I made it. So, like I said, put that up there. start training, set start waypoint. Build timer plus equals. Right, we'll need train progress. No problem. Now. What the fuck? Did what? No. Did I copy out the thing? I did. Oops. How does that work? Right. Set start waypoint and start training. We'll just kind of throw those in here. I don't want you to be there. I don't want you to be there at all. Oh my god. And yeah. Shit. No, we don't need that. Okay. So if the order equals train, then we do something. And if it's not, oops. Then nothing will happen. So if it's not, if it doesn't tell us to train, then nothing will happen. We have more than one argument in this thing. I don't know. Thinking about a lot of stuff. I'll worry about that in the future. Right now, we'll just get this and the attack and the move and the other things are more. So where this will come in, we just had this as a standalone thing, so I rolled with it. Right, so start training. Where is this called? So, if training progress, start training. Where do we start training? Oh, this is start training, right? Of course. What are we doing in the last one? Start training. Oh, start training. Yeah, that's public. So we called that from the button. The button actually did that. And this one checks to see if we have resources, and the resources are hard-coded in at the moment. Not gonna worry about that. Not my thing today. Debug log, go to the waypoint. Wait, what? Oh, right. Start training. Tart training. Heck yeah. I'm pretty sure there'll be glitches. Let's save this and see what we got. Namespace content. Parsing error. Expect symbol. Yeah, I accidentally got rid of something, didn't I? Let's try that. Just kind of throw one in there. Yep. Nope. Okay. Got that. Where is your companion? So, you are there. And where is your companion? Yours, 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 yes, looks good. Come on. Yeah, no idea what's going on. What error is this giving me? Come on. Unexpected symbol. Well, you should totally expect the symbol. Why don't we just comment it out? Then save it. You're an idiot. Stupid graphic error that doesn't mean anything to me. A parsing error. Train, swing, namespace. Let's check up in the beginning then. Namespace. Get you back because I know you need to be there. If order equals train. Oh, right. Didn't close it all the way, of course. I have a really bad error checker. Whenever I program in Java, in Eclipse, it actually checks. Kill yourself. Die. 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 Yes. And in the future I will be, oh, look, he's dead. In the future I'll be live streaming the thing. Oh, and we are using train so that it is distinct from build. So you can place things in the world, which can be blueprints that will either build over time or need to be built. So you can do it like the what's it called, StarCraft dudes. What were they called? Protoss. The Protoss, where they just put the thing down and the building builds automatically. Or you can do it like other guys, where they have the building, and then they work on it. It requires effort to build a building. So I guess to use my metaphor before, the building has no build speed of itself, but workers do. The workers need to work on it, as workers do. Right, so unit train accepts order, and the order makes it build stuff. Kind of. Okay, so let's see how difficult it is to make a new unit. I haven't made a new unit in like forever. So game object, 3D object. Let's make it a sphere. We'll call him a Sphero. The Spherian. Great. Empty. That's on the ground. Come on. Put the sphere in it, just so that we can see it. Doesn't need a collider. Game object, add component, unit control. We need a base object. What do we got? What do we got? Default command node. Default command node. Top down. Crap. I don't remember what I did. It's been so long. Which I guess is good. This is why I go back here. Base object. Base. Okay. Very helpful. Base object. Base. All right. Because this guy, he has a base object that's always part of him. It just toggles on or off. Right. Let's just put you over here. Now that was done, so you can add in whatever you want as a base. Super easy. You just place it on the dude. 0, 0, 0. Put it a little bit above the ground, because right now that's how it works. And you just turn it on. Can you see it? Come on. Yeah. Oh. How did this get selected? Sphere collider. Right. So definitely need to work on how new units are made. Yeah. So, Kobold, come to me. Sphere collider. Does it check? Let's try adding a collider to this thing. Capsule. Y. Right. Man, I have no idea how I did this. It's been so long. Why don't I just start off with is selected? I did not add, did I? Yeah. Oh, right, I didn't add in the base thing. Shit. Base. Scale. 2. Base pull speed. 2. Yeah. Boop. Heck yeah. My own game works that I made. Oh man. Alright, I think it just doesn't have any movement speed. So I'm building. Change the movement speed. Nope, it does. Shit. Alright, let's see what these errors are. Vector 3, go here. My god, my own code has become legacy. Shitty. Sorry, somebody was right on the internet for once, and I had to let them know that they're the first. So, it's very important. Alright, back to this. How does it not move? Remember. Oh, is it because it doesn't have any move order sounds? I don't know. Let's just open it up, see what's going on. Shit. Damn it. I'm so bad at this. God. You control anim. Yeah, okay, because this doesn't have any animations. Okay. Let's just put an if in there if it has an animator, right? You know what, whatever. I'm just going to kill my sphere. I'm going to copy the kobold, because I know that works. Oops. Bro, come here. I'm going to do dark and nefarious things to you. Oh, yeah. No, I want to copy and paste it, bastard. Come on. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. You're going to go over there. You're going to come with me. And we're gonna do shit to you. So I never done this before. Let's just add the building UIL building control and have it build himself. Build unit. Take 1 second. Default exit waypoint. Set that to be base, because I am a monster. Build waypoint display. Also is going to be base, because I'm a monster. I have no idea how this will go. Let's see if it crashes everything. Train. Train unit. Do we have to set it to be a building? I believe he needs to be a building at the moment. Building. Okay. Was this build time like a while? No, it's like 1 second. Come on. What the hell, dude? Build. Oh, you like harvest with your insane range. Alright, you have insane range too. Maybe this is the problem. Do I select you? Come on. Come on. Oh, are you still here? Hilarious. Alright. Let's focus on our goal. Breaking up our various AI things. So, I'm just going to make all these files, like right now. Let's get that aside. Create C# script unit move. Create C# unit attack. Create C# unit harvest. Unit train. Oh, we already have unit train. Unit build. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's just open up all these. Oh my god, it finally actually opens. Yeah, open them all up. Build. Yeah, unit control, unit harvest, unit move, and build. Build, move, harvest, attack, control, train. Let's move this to the other side. And we're all gonna go. Void. Take order. Or actually, does this need to be public? Shit, I need to check things. I don't know. We'll just leave it as this, and we will update it in the future. I believe it will need to be made public, but I want it to only be accessed by the unit commander for the primary unit control thing. Build. Build. Move. This is a chance to update everything by redoing stuff I made in the beginning. Harvest. Harvest. Start training. Oh my god, right? If it's able to move, it needs to be able to do a bunch of other crap too. Alright. Okay. So right now we're just going to have these print. Debug.log. Does that make sure shit's working? Attack. Took order, attack. Now goes off, then fix the formatting, because monodevelop is a piece of crap and I hate it. Harvest. Move. Build. Move. Harvest. Oops. Attack. Train. Alright. Now we're gonna set up our unit control, which will probably make a brand spanking new one sometime. But for the moment, we're just going to tack it on to our current unit control and then see how far we can cut it down. Unit control. All kinds of cool stuff here that we're going to pull out. Let's go with public. Oh wait, no, we already have like an order system. Right. Used strings before. Right, so it's the harvest stuff. Broadcast message. Take order. Come on. Fingers. Harvest. let's check that out. So right now, it should work the same as it did before. Harvest, 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 harvest. Alright. And if we add in our component, how was it? Unit harvest. Should just print to the log. Yeah, took order. Harvest. Kick ass. So let's add everything else to our dude. Attack. Build. Move. Unit selector? My god, I had a unit selector script. Train. Oh, but we don't want it to actually train anything. Build waypoint display. Oh, right. I guess that's for train. So is train? Oh, no, because that's part of the initialization. Crap, I think. Let's check that out. Yeah, okay, just throws that. Got it. Alright, so let's just kind of add this in. To our other parts. Attack. Let's add it up to the part where it actually takes orders. Update. Give destination. Move. How did this work? I don't remember. So update. If it's not a building and it's moving, then it moves. Interact target on drag gizmos. Give destination. We'll add our broadcast. Attack. And we didn't have a concise naming convention, so we're gonna, I believe it was give destination. That just kind of set that out. Sets the current destination. Add a movement to a queue. We don't actually have a movement or an order queue in this yet, but in time we should move. Yeah. How's that going? Glitches, come on. No, let's not have that maximize on play so we can actually see what's popping out. Click the unit, platoons are equal. Kick ass. Took an order, move. Took order, attack. Took order, move. 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 Took order, harvest. Took order, attack. Okay, so these order components The unit control components are working. Now we just need to make them actually do stuff and work together. That's cool. I'm glad I kind of figured this out. I'm going to take a break, and I will come back in about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Go grab a snack, go to the bathroom. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll be back. Thank you for watching, and I'm Kale the Quick. Don't die.